Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? It's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here, also known as Mags. Welcome to a Tuesday night gaming chat where everything is pretty much back to normal. Yes, we are back on a Tuesday. And yes, our wonderful co-host is here. How are you all? Hope you're well. Welcome to the show. So, a couple of people already here, nice and early. Dan Game Tank, hello. How are you? He says, ears open. I make it past the first 5 minutes of tonight. Hopefully you don't fall asleep. Bless him. He got back off holiday, tried to watch the stream last night and fell asleep. Bless you. Danka says, hello, Crumpet. Hello. We were talking about crumpets in our Discord, which is odd, but was quite fun. So there you go. How are you, Danka? Hope you're well. Welcome on in, everyone. We've got another jam-packed show full of games for you that have come out in the last week and some that have not come out yet because some reviews have already dropped. So we wanted to cover them. Flame, good evening. How are you? Sophie, hello, lovely. How are you? Hello, darling. 9 crumpets, unbelievable. Yeah, why they don't do packs of 8? Who knows? But it started a whole discussion. But there you go. 3 for Sophie, and then we share the other 6. So there you go. Now, he's been on his holidays. Hopefully, I wouldn't say he's got a tan by looking at him, but he's obviously had a good time away because he's not been with us for the last 2 weeks. But please give it up for the co-host who knows the most. It's the one. It's the only Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
Sophie said you better have a tan.
I'm afraid I didn't really go anywhere to sunbathe. We went to a centre parks and did loads of activities. There was no lying on a beach and relax or anything like that.
He was in a building somewhere playing sports and stuff.
Yeah.
What did you do at the centre parks? So I should ask this, isn't it? Because there's
yeah, there was loads of stuff you can do. So, I mean, we went into the swimming place because you've got to go in there. Yeah, they don't charge any extra for that, which is quite nice. So we went in there, did a few water slides, went down there rapids, which was cool. And then we did, was it quad biking, kayaking?
Yeah.
Their aerial adventure where you're climbing through the trees and it ends with the zip line across the lake.
Cool.
Did that.
Yeah.
Then we rented one of these electric boats so you can just sort of potter around the lake on that.
Yeah, yeah.
And did a bit of mini golf.
Nice.
Some stuff like that. And ate out there and just sort of wandered around the place. Yeah. So it was pretty good. Only there for 4 nights, but then stayed with one of my wife's friends in Bristol and went to the SS Great Britain ship, which I got on display there. Probably been there a while, but I hadn't heard of it until it got mentioned. We went and looked at it. Interesting enough.
There you go. So he had
It was far too much exercise. My Fitbit is very pleased with me for last week. It's going to be thoroughly disappointed this week because the steps ain't going to match. Won't be anywhere freaking close.
Oh dear. Okay. Flames, I hope you're doing well. Dan's like, Dave! There'll be more of that later. He came back whiter than he left. I mean, true. I've got more of a tan than him and I've been in Liverpool.
Yeah. I don't think the lighting helps, but never mind.
Yeah, that's true.
To improve it.
Jesse said, good evening, Jesse. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. But yeah, what have you been playing then? Tell us what you've been playing since you come back off your rolls.
Well, before I went away, because I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. So before I went away, I carried on with Expedition 33, finished Act 1. That's quite interesting how that act ended. I'm seeing what continues from there.
Won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't
played the second weekend of the Battlefield 6 beta. Still enjoyed it. Really, really good. So looking forward to the full release. And then while I was away, I took the Steam Deck with me, which was a good thing because the Wi-Fi there was terrible. So I couldn't stream anything. So luckily the Steam Deck, so the stuff installed locally on there. So I finished off a game called Arise, A Simple Story, which is a little sort of 3D platformer guiding an old man through some like memories of his life. Quite an interesting little game, quite a nice platformer. I carried on playing another game called Lacuna, which is a little pixel art side-scrolling detective noir story. Carried on with that one. Then since I got back, I've been playing Sword of the Sea, which we're talking about in a bit.
Yes,
we are. Any more than that.
There you go. It's good stuff.
The other thing I finished off was the Division 2 DLC, The Battle for Brooklyn. So we finished that off.
I completely forgot that had come out, and I haven't even tried that.
I mean, I enjoyed it for the shoot and everything like that. Could not tell you what the story was or who the characters were because I've completely forgotten.
Because it's been that long.
Yeah, that's it.
Actually,
not a very memorable story, I'm afraid.
Yeah. That's crazy. Dave Johnson's here. He says, "Boo! It's Dave." Runs. Dan goes at Dave Johnson. "Boo! It's this Dave." Runs. Big Jesse. Everyone seems to be catching the runs.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to the deck cult. It's not a cult, so it clearly is.
It's to be in.
I mentioned this last week. I finished RoboCop Unfinished Business before
Nice.
last show. Perfectly good, perfectly fine. Probably won't play back through that one. Unlike the main RoboCop, it was good, but nothing to. Yeah, it ended very abruptly. I said that last week. So it was a bit weird how they built it all up and it just ends, and you're like, oh, okay, done. Nearly finished the new Mafia, which I was saying to you before the show, and still playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is fantastic. And then somehow I'm going to have to cope with all the games that are coming out. Oh, I'm playing lots of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Really loving that. And it's not made me rage yet, which is weird because it is quite tough, but it is really good. And I want to try and get that finished before the new Shinobi comes out. So it's kind of like, a lot going on. But there you go. Those games to play. Anyway, let's bring on our guest tonight. This gentleman has been at the Timeless Gaming Convention many a time. You can normally find him wearing his Mario hat, helping us run either the Mario Kart 8 or the Mario Kart World tournaments. But some of you may not know that he's got this fabulous printing business for manuals, in particular, Switch and Switch 2 manuals. And you can find him at lots of other amazing trade shows around the UK selling his wares. Please get it up for the one, the only, Rowan Fox Noble. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, my friend?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing? It's lovely to see you.
Good, thanks.
Great to have you here, Rowan. Great to have you here.
Oh, absolute pleasure. It's an honor. It's a pleasure to join you this evening to talk about all things gaming related and whatnot. I'm excited, you know.
It's great because obviously we have you at Timeless. I didn't actually get to spend. It feels like this. It's weird. I didn't actually get to spend that much time with you this year because some previous years we've actually chatted a lot more, and I've been mega busy. It was weird. I wasn't as busy, but I didn't. I kind of saw you at the start and the end, and that was it.
I saw you running as a headless chicken a couple of times, and I was like, "That's my time to pounce." I'll say a quick hello, hug, high five, and then I know he's doing something else, you know, somewhere else. Like, I can't take too much of your time. You're a very important man. Very important.
Oh, bless you. Well, thank you for everything you've done, and thank you for everything that was at the show. And Mario Kart World went down an absolute treat this year.
Yeah, I did. It actually went down really well.
More people were like, "Oh, can we have a go?" And I think they put Josh, the technician, put it on free play, didn't he? So more people could play it.
We did, after the competition. Yeah, afterwards when there was a break, I asked if we could put it back up for a few people that wanted to have a go. Yeah. I thought while it's there, not being used, like you know, have a little thing for them.
Makes sense. What Dave Johnson says, "Woo, Rowan," throws panties at Rowan.
Yeah, that's standard Dave.
Yeah, Jesse, my panties immediately disintegrated.
That's also standard Jesse. It happens a lot, unfortunately. He has to go through so many.
I'm not surprised. It's very expensive.
He started invoicing as well for them, which is, you know, he has an expensive taste.
He does, and it's worrying how expensive as well. Good evening to Cute Tiger Gem. I got one of your manuals from Knots VG from a mate in LA. He loved it.
Thank you.
Which one did you get, Tiger Gem? Please do tell. Please do tell. In fact, let's bring up the website because this is something I wanted to show you. Danka says,
is it optimal?
Oh my God, your mini guide manuals are amazing. So tell you what, let's bring up the website. Oh, it's the Mario Kart World one. Amazing.
Oh, yes.
So let's actually... How did this all start? Because I'm going to bring up your website. How did this all start, Rowan?
Oh, wow. I love the way that this goes, by the way. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. There you go. Here we go. There's your website. So if anyone doesn't know, mbpuk.net is the website. We will be putting shout outs in the chat a bit later. But how did you start doing this? Because you've done a fair chunk because obviously you started doing the Switch treatment. Yeah. But
it was like I'll always say the little beginning bit, but it never like really flourished until COVID. But like I think it was about 2018. I was a bit bored and decided to make a little something myself.
Yeah.
At home, I think it was for like Mario Odyssey, and it was really terrible, done on like a home printer, that sort of stuff. But you know, it looked reasonable enough. I was like, this is quite nice. This is good, you know. But also at the same time, I was very not very good at doing all the imagery or the printing, everything. It was really terrible. So I was like, so much work, I never want to do it ever again, type thing. Yeah. And shortly afterwards, my hard drive died with all the work on it. So I was like, equally, I'm not going to do it again because God, I don't want to do all the stuff I've already done again. That is a terrible idea. So when COVID hit, and I was playing like Breath of the Wild at the time, or a game. I was like, surely someone has had this idea by now. I had it a few years ago. I'll buy some of theirs and sport. I'd like to fill up my cases. They're a bit empty and rubbish looking, just missing the void, sort of stuff. And yeah, on Etsy, I couldn't find any really. And I wasn't on furlough or anything. I was still with the fire service and that sort of thing, as I am now. So we're key workers, we're on call and that sort of stuff. But we had a lot of free time because I say a lot of free time, a lot more free time, should I say, because when everyone's locked in, you don't get as many sort of like fire shouts, RTCs and everything because, you know, no one's out on the streets and that sort of stuff. So I thought I have a bit more free time. You know, if I'm going to do it, I'll try and do it properly, basically. And I was working on Breath of the Wild because I saw some Facebook posts which looked phenomenal. People like hand wrote these like all logs and side quests and everything. And they looked beautiful, but they were giant. So I was like, maybe I can make a tiny version that can fit in the case, kind of like the other one. And while I'm making this one, I'll remake the Mario one I did, sort of thing, so I don't actually lose the will to live, and I can kind of get back some of the data I lost and that sort of stuff. And then yeah, once I made those, I tested like a load of printers for a few months to see like how expensive it is and like papers and all this thing to see what's doable, because weirdly enough, the size is very particular and not a lot of printers print that small. Like they hate it completely because it's just too small, essentially. So, you know, learning a lot, but a lot of testing. And once I got something I was really happy with, I was like, look, I've done this thing. I want to just share it on Facebook, be like, look, you guys have done this, and I've made one of these for things, because then it can fit in the game. And then people were like, well, that's amazing. Can I have one? And I immediately went, ah, shit. I was like, I guess I could make more. I don't know. I only kind of made like a few tiny ones with like a local printer and that sort of thing. And then yeah, people really liked it. They wanted more. And then they asked me if I could do Animal Crossing, if I could do something else and that sort of thing. Because Animal Crossing was a big COVID sort of like game and stuff. So I was like, I will do my best, I'll try. And yeah, it's kind of just expanded from there, really, sort of taking the word of the people of what they would like, and I aim to make as many as I can, because it's lovely to fill the void in sort of like not just my collection but other people's collections as well, really. You know, for me, like there's clips in there, it makes a lot of sense. You know, it weirdly adds like a bit of weight. It's nice to have as a reference, because strangely enough, like the progressive ones I do for like Zelda and that sort of stuff are super useful with all the information and stuff. But also like just having like nice bits of background, some of the art that's never used really, besides some like promotional stuff, or even controls and stuff. In some games, when you haven't played it for like 6 months, you don't know some of the combinations and controls, and it's actually a really good part to sort of like get you back in the game when it's the harder sections, rather than having to start all over again, if that makes sense or whatnot. Because let me tell you, Metroid Dread, if you don't play it for a while and you go back into it, you are screwed. You know, it progressively gets a lot harder and you forget everything you've done. I was like, no, I'm glad I made a little something for that to kind of remind me of what's what, really. But yeah, it's just been an absolute joy to play. I never thought it would be a thing that I would be doing years later, but I love making them, and I aim to just keep trying to make more. And it's nice because other people sort of started making a few as well, you know, some in like different languages or countries, and you know, it's got more known to me, especially like 12 for Gaming. He does like the PS4, PS5 sort of ones, or Vitas mostly, and then other people sort of do stuff, and it's like it's a really nice little community. It's nice that sort of fans, and the quality as well, like everyone does them really well, and it's kind of like my aim as well, like, you know, there's nothing official out there, but if there is, maybe it would look like this. That is kind of my aim. I want to make something that really complements it, and yeah, it's the journey that I keep doing, really, because the games are beautiful, and it's really nice to sort of help people try and give something back a little bit, you know, and find what can hopefully be useful, really. Just, you know, not for old gamers as well, but for new ones and that sort of stuff.
We've got a couple of things that people have said. I'll get to Jem's question in a second. Ems has said, I've got the free premium Zelda ones because Brenny got me one at Knott's VGE, So I had to buy the other two. So there you go. So she's got all them.
Oh, yeah.
Dave says, Rowan, also tell us about your other side venture of being a charming and sexy bastard. Here, have some more panties. Throws more panties.
Oh, he has a lot of panties today.
He has. I
Yeah.
do worry about him. How he
I wouldn't say I'm that charming or anything like that. David will tell you otherwise, but I would never say I'm that charming. He's just a lovely chap, especially once you get through to him. But yeah, the Zelda ones, they were very lovely to make. Because I'm a huge fan of Zelda. And someone kind of gave me the said, like, we like your little size, but can you make them a bit bigger? And I was like, oh, can I? You know, sort of with like the I'll see what I can do. And I made him like a little bit bigger, but then also I was like, well, if I'm making them a bit bigger, I might as well add foiling to them and make the paper really premium and just make it look so gorgeous, you know. And those are those special editions there. They're really lovely, way more expensive to print than I ever thought they would be, but they are absolutely gorgeous. Like in the case, I was like, creme de la creme.
Nice. Jem says, what manuals are you working on next?
I'm currently working on Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really at war with myself on how I go about this because there's like 777 sort of like banana gems and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what I'm like, do I kind of do like what I did for Tears of the Kingdom and everything and just try and shove as much as I can into something that will fit? Because I did learn there is a limit, you know, I can't go too extreme, otherwise it really just doesn't fit in the case anymore. And I was like, that avoids the whole point. But yeah, it's a lovely game, and I'm a little bit at war with sort of some of the designs of like, do I go just for the more structural stuff and the information stuff, or do I just go whole hog and just try and ram everything in that I can, really, you know, and see if it works in the end? Because I only really find out sometimes in the end when it works.
Yeah.
Or halfway through, I realize how many pages it's going to be, and then I either cry or go, well, that's lucky.
Yeah.
Really, but it's somehow not going over my threshold.
Emza says, I'm still amazed you fit all the Korok seeds in.
Yes, my PC is not happy about that at all. I was, oh my God, yeah. When I did Tears of the Kingdom and there's, Breath of the Wild, and there's 900 of them, my PC would kind of chug every time I add like a little extra Korok seed in it, you know, and luckily it kind of counts out for me because in the very beginning I was counting them all individually to make sure, and counting to 900 was an absolute chore and a half, I have to say. But like, you know, I got there in the end and I was like, my PC was like, thank God this is over. I never want to do that ever again. And then Tears of the Kingdom has like 1,000 of them. And it really, every time there was like a new Korok seed added, it was just like, no, it's too many. It doesn't like, I was like, come on, you can do it. I believe in you, you know. And I vary from like a laptop and a PC with a bit of a beefier graphics card. But yeah, the file was pretty large, and it was just like it's too much half the time. But I'm glad I got them all in. Some of the areas are. It's weird. You think you got so much space, you know. You're like, yeah, I can do this, and then like they'll be like, oh yeah, there's like 56 odd sort of Korok seeds, and it's there, and you're like, well, that's basically the whole page, you know, just 56. Shove them on there or something. I was like, how do you know? So it's nice working some roundabout ways of getting things done so that you can kind of get it on there and hopefully look presentable as well.
Nice. Now, if you want to find out more about Rowan, there is the link that will take you straight to the website I've just shown. You can order everything from the website, or you can go to, well, there you go. Dave's just done a shout out as well. You can also go to many events and buy them. What are your next couple of events coming up that you are at that people can buy these at, my friend?
That is a very good question. On the website, I do have like an events page. So there's like a little calendar thing.
I will.
But I think currently at the minute, I haven't got any events for the rest of the year because I'm kind of in like 2 shows that kind of go through November. So unless there's like an early December, because a lot of people kind of want me in some pantos and that sort of thing as well, which then run through December. So unless like I kind of get a structure, I'm thinking there might be like an event in December time. Coming up. I think there's one in like London on the 4th or something, but I have to double check with them on that and go through. But yeah, at the minute I was very much like, as much as I want some in October and that sort of thing.
Yeah, because there are
with shows running as well. Dave knows it never went well last time. I roped him in and
Yeah.
it was a
And then
cluster
you had
F,
to scoot
say
off,
the
and then he
least.
was there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Never again. There we go.
never again. Yeah, he
Wow.
literally just said it. Never again. But there you go. Anyway, so yeah, go check out the website, which Dave has put in the chat. We'll be giving you a shout out. Are you telling me I'm not going to see you again this year?
I know. I know.
I don't know. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out. Maybe
We
me and
will figure
Rowan.
out. I really do. I love seeing everyone, and I was away for like a little while.
Yeah.
Because sometimes life gets in the way and whatnot. But yeah, I love everyone so much, and I love seeing you guys. So it's always just a joy. Like every event is an absolute joy of
Yeah.
mine to be at. So I definitely want to be at more.
Ooh, sure.
And I will do my best. I just got to just tell me where to go, and I'll go.
Yeah, you and me will talk after, and I'll give you a list because there's a ton of stuff. M says come to the format party. Well, we'll figure that out. That's Halloween. We'll sort all that out.
Oh yeah, I can come down for Halloween. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Back it up in the. We'll figure it out. There's loads.
Yeah.
We'll sort it out. Me and
I'll
Rowan
bring
will
some
talk.
glow sticks.
Yeah, bring some glow sticks, and
Really
we can go
nice.
for cocktails. So it'd be cool.
Oh, well, we have
There you go. Can we also get a shout out for Ems, please? Because obviously Ems is our community member of the month. So we'll say a big shout out to Ems. So yeah, Dave says no. Thanks for that, Dave. It's secretly my birthday party. Oh yeah, it's going to be a birthday party, but we're not going to call it that.
That's amazing.
So we're going to do that, and we will have Simran on the show coming up to October to promote obviously format and the Halloween theme party and everything. So that'll be a thing. But anyway, shall we crack on with the show, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our 231st show, and we've got 8 new games to talk about. And we've got all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days, and obviously 2 of the big games we are talking about, which aren't out yet, but all the reviews have dropped. So we decided to do it was Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and obviously the brand new Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Plus, we're going to be discussing that did someone accidentally leak the location for Forza Horizon 6, which is supposed to be coming out next year. And also the fact that Hollow Knight has started selling very, very well. And I wonder why that is. We'll go in more details of that. But we will crack on with the start of our show. And our first game this evening came out last Tuesday on PlayStation 5 and PC. And as Dave said earlier, he has been playing this. Here is the trailer for Sword of the Sea. There you go. There was a trailer for that. Now, you've been playing a fair bit of this, Dave. So tell us what this game is all about, please.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of atmospheric adventure games. It's only meant to be a short game. I think around about the sort of 4-ish hour mark.
Okay.
That kind of like matches in with like what Journey was, because the guy who made this worked on. I think it was one of the designers for Journey, and then since he's formed his own company, they worked on Abzu and the Pathless. I played Abzu. That was a nice little short game, swimming through the ocean depths. This one you're playing as like a warrior who's sort of brought back to life by a single drop of water, but he's brought back to life in like a desolate land, clearly with some sort of war and everything that's gone on. The land is just desolate. You're sort of flowing through it on your sort of sword. You're surfing around on your sword, pulling off little tricks just for the hell of it. But you're solving little puzzles, and it's sort of bringing life back into the world. Brings back oceans and fish and whales and turtles, just things like that. Just as you're solving it, it just makes the game look really pretty. There's little collectibles to find as well as you're surfing around the world, and it all just looks really cool. It kind of just leaves you alone to explore it. Doesn't hold your hand or try and point you to anything really. Just lets you flow through the game world, just pulling off these cool little tricks, solving puzzles, and just enjoying the scenery and the music as you go along. I think I've done about a couple of hours so far. Probably getting most of the way through and thoroughly enjoying it. Nice little sort of palette cleanser, if you like, in amongst all these stupidly long games that we get that just go on and on for hours. Nice little 3-4 hour game. Perfect. It's kind of what I'm looking for at the moment. So I'm loving it. And if you like any of the previous games that they've done that I mentioned, like Absolute Journey, etc., I think you'll like this one. Well worth a look.
All right. Well, Rowan immediately, as soon as you said Journey, was like, "Oh yeah, okay." So
I was thinking that when I
I'm
saw
guessing
it.
you would play this. This is right up your street, then, Rowan.
To be honest, seeing in the trailer, it is. It's one of those things. Like I remember seeing Journey and everything. I think it's just a really nice, relaxing, chilled game to play. Like you can take it at your own time. It's you know it's very open sort of to your interpretation and how you want to style and enjoy it and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And seeing this one, it totally like the style reminded me of Journey very much instantly, and also like Air Borders or whatnot from the N64 sort of thing with their hoverboard, like Snow 1080 or SSX sort of thing. Because you're doing tricks on like a sort of hoverboard, and I was like, this is very much my sort of jam. Sort of thing. And to be honest, I'm a quite busy sort of a lot here and there as well. So when you say it's like a 4-hour game as well, it's short. It's not like, I could really find myself enjoying this, like the experience of like 4 hours one evening or something, just to sort of play and just like that sort of game. It seems very cool, very relaxing, and I would definitely try and trick lots and lots, to be honest, through it actually.
Okay. All right. Well, just so Rowan knows and anyone else who's not seen the show before, and hello to DJ Mike, how you doing? He says I love Rowan. We technically don't review the games on the show, but we scour the internet to find all the reviews and condense them down into an average score, and we turn it into a little guessing game so that Dave, our guest, Rowan, and the chat can try and guess the scores. And if you guess it correctly, you will get a shout out for your channel. So, Rowan, every time you get this right, we will basically give you a shout out for your website. All right. That's how we're going to do this.
Love that.
So, we're going to plug your website. All right.
Is this like an out of 10 score as well? Or
so you out of 10, and you can also have 0.5s. All right. So, a couple of people have already started to put scores in. So, Danka reckons this has got a 9. M says an 8.5. DJ Mike says, we don't review games, says professional reviewer Mag. Yes. Flame says 7.5. DJ Mike says 8. Dave Johnson says, scour the internet. Mag means he looks at the first entry on Google. Not true. I don't actually use Google when I'm doing this. Dan Game Tank, 8.5. iQuail, 8. So chat, get your scores in. Dave, we'll start with you. You played a bit of this. What do you reckon this has got?
I'm going to go for an 8.5.
Go for an 8.5, going high. Got a lot of high scores tonight. Dave Johnson also saying an 8.5. Rowan, what do you reckon this got?
You know what? I was also instantly thinking it's got like an 8.5 kind of look and feel to me. But because you've said 8.5, I'm going to be a little bit like IGN and give it like an 8.
You're going to go for an 8. Okay. I was going to say, you can have the same scores. It's not a thing, but you want to go for, if you want to go for an 8 or an 8.5.
It's more interesting, I was like, I'll go for a solid 8, because I was like, it's definitely not lower than an 8 out of 10. And I haven't played the game, but I was, I'll feel good with that.
There you go. Big Jesse says the only thing that Mag professional reviews is gaming events. Yes. Simple answer. This is Sword of the Sea, which came out last Tuesday on PlayStation 5 and PC. Dan says it's about $24.99 on Steam right now. So if there are no more answers in the chat, I can tell you that this got a whopping 9 out of 10.
Nice.
9 out of 10.
Well deserved.
So that's how that was. Yeah.
That's a good game.
Yeah. Jesse says, look at his socials for his review of next year's Insomnia. Yes, if Johnny was here, it would be a -1 for next year's Insomnia. Hasn't even happened, but that's the score I'm giving it. So there you go. So 9 out of 10. So Danka, well done. I think you're the only one who got it right. Everyone was quite close.
I see 1 9 in there. Solid.
Yeah, so well done.
Torn between 8.5 and 9. I should have gone for the 9.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I thought 8.5 first. Thought I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but it is on PS Plus on the the extra and premium.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, worth knowing. Just go and download it if you got PS Plus.
Oh, yes, you got PS Plus. Go and play it free of charge. There you go. Even better. That's even better. Check that out. There you go. Oh, awesome. Don't mention the I word. Okay. Danka says, oh, yes, do that. So, yes, go get it. Our next game tonight is a game that we actually talked about in early access round about spring last year. And then they shadow dropped it during Gamescom. And this is another game that you can get on PS Plus, but you can also get it on Game Pass. So they put it on both services, but it's also available on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and Switch 2. And this is the Rogue Prince of Persia. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There you go. So that is a game that we did talk about last year, but is now finally the final version has come out and literally shadow dropped during Gamescom, which was insane. And you can, as I say, get it on PS Plus and Xbox Game Pass, which is fantastic. So I've been looking forward to this one. This came out last Wednesday. So Dave, for anyone who doesn't know, tell us about this, because this was literally kind of announced straight after the success of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which was a fantastic game that also came out last year.
Yeah, that's right. It's been early access for quite a while, but it's like shadow drop during Gamescom, which is pretty cool. This is another roguelike game. This is from the same team that did Dead Cells, so it's got a pretty good pedigree.
Yeah.
It's this one is just following the princes. He's trying to save the land of Persia from the Huns who've invaded, and they've come with some dark magic. And the sort of the hook for this one, the sort of reason for the sort of the roguelike stuff where you get resurrected, the prince has got some special amulets that cause him to get resurrected. Yeah. So they got a little sort of narrative reason for it to happen, which is quite cool. I think each time you start on your run, I think the levels are procedurally generated, so it's never the same twice. But as you play through it, get further and then die, you'll retain some skills you can use for your next run. So it gives you a chance to get better, go back in, take out the enemies that have been causing you some trouble. It looks pretty good. It's definitely on my list to try out. Again, I'll be like I think Danka said, I've been waiting for the 1.0 release, because I don't really want to start playing something in early access and then not be able to finish it. I'd like to get the full thing that's been properly tested and fixed, and everything's set up to flow nicely. Because the combat in this, from watching the trailer, looks like it flows really well. The platform, the whole thing just flows nicely. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying this at some point and to see how it goes, but it looks good to me.
Yeah, some people may know I got to try this out last year in the early access version, and I really enjoyed the time that we had with it. I only probably had it for about an hour, but really, really enjoyed it. And it is so different from the other Prince of Persia, and obviously I love that one because that was in our top 5 games or top 15 games of last year. So this is very different, but still really, really good. So I probably enjoyed it. Rowan, your thoughts on this and the style is sort of a game that you would try?
It would be a game I'd try, because I originally, when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's like Hollow Knight aspects, or why, and then when I saw some of the mechanics, I went, that's very Dead Cell.
Yeah.
In the game. And I was like, I'm thinking like it's kind of like that sort of game. And I don't know if I personally, I was like, the art style is definitely different, and layout wise from other previous Prince of Persia games, because I love especially like the original trilogy. Such a great thing. So yeah, it's definitely a game I think I would play, because the whole movement and aspect of Dead Cell is something I really do enjoy, and I am a fan of the Prince of Persia series on a whole. So it definitely looks like a good game to play for me.
Okay. I want to say hello to Leah, who's in chat. Hello, Leah. How you doing? Good to have you here. Let's see what people are saying. People who've got scores. Danka reckons he's got an 8. Gem, 8.5. Ems, 8.5. Rowan, I'll start with you this time. Chat, get your scores in. What do you reckon?
I'm thinking more of an 8, because the previous one that got a 9, I thought, I could really see that. And I feel like this one I can't see as much as like a really high score like that one. So I'm thinking like 7.5, 8ish, but I think I'll go 8.
Going with an 8. Okay. A couple of people agreeing with you there. Flame saying an 8. Mr. Johnson also saying an 8 as well. Dave, what say you?
I was thinking 8 as well, so I'm going to go with the same.
Okay. So a lot of people sort of 8.5, 8. 8 seems to be the popular one. Folks, this is your last chance. This is the Rogue Prince of Persia, which shadow dropped last Wednesday and is available on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch and Switch 2, and also available on PS Plus and Xbox Game Pass. So you got no reasons not to play it unless you don't like Prince of Persia, which is a fair enough reason. If there are no more scores in the chat, but he doesn't like Prince of Persia, it's great. If there are no more scores in chat, I can tell you that this, ladies and gentlemen, got an 8.5 out of 10 on average. 8.5. So again, highly scored and did really well. So
wanting to play it.
Yeah, Gem, well done. You get a shout out. Ems, you get a shout out as well. Well done. Congratulations to you two for getting that. I don't think anyone's 2 for 2 yet, if I'm right. I don't think anyone is. So we'll see who gets the most. But there you go. Thank you so much. And while those scores are being dished out, let's talk a little bit of gaming news. And it's a shame that there's 2 people that are normally in chat aren't here. Those 2 people are Atomic Moonchild and Gilfly, because they would love this next news story. Because during Gamescom, there were some things that were announced on the show floor that weren't announced on some of the big, video wall stuff. And, except whatever you call them, I can't even think. Not the show floor, but the showcase. Oh. Yes, that's the best one. Yeah, that thing. But some were literally announced at the show. And one of them is basically going to be an enhanced version of Shenmue 3. Now, the reason I said that Gilfly and Atomic Moonchild would love me here to this is because I would normally call this Shimumi. This is what I call this game. I call it Shimumi, right? But Shenmue 3, right? Now, the other 2 games have had sort of remasters, revamped versions. This is going to be a brand new enhanced edition, which is going to come out on Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X, and S, and PC. And in Games, who are the people that are doing it, obviously announced it at Gamescom. And they actually did this as a Kickstarter, right? And it got backed. And if I'm right in this, this got something crazy. Like they raised something insane with this, the amount of dollars that they raised for this Kickstarter to get this game done. But what they've done is because they surpassed the Kickstarter, anyone who's got like the PS4 versions of it already can actually upgrade for free and get the newer version. People have backed it, so that's really cool. So you can basically get this upgraded. However, one thing that people are worried about is that the first 2 games are held in very high regard, yet the third game isn't. And when it came back out all those years ago, it got very average reviews. So people are actually wondering, what are they going to do to actually make the game better? Because a lot of people actually called the game tedious, boring, and nowhere near as fun as the last 2 and frustrating. Yet a lot of people have got love for it. So what do we think? That's all the details we got. We haven't got a release date. We know they're going to do an upgrade pack. We know what formats it's coming on. But do we think they are going to turn it from a 5 out of 10 game to something a lot better? Or do you think they're just going to kind of do sort of a polished job? But what do we reckon?
I think it's going to be more of a polished job, because I think trying to fundamentally change the game will probably cost too much money to try and completely redo the story and everything like that. But I think a lot of people had issues with a lot of the gameplay systems. I think there was a stamina system that was a bit of a pain in the neck. You couldn't skip cutscenes, and your health didn't necessarily restore before each fight. Just lots of little annoyances like that just made the game tedious. So what I was reading was saying they're putting like optional toggleable fixes in for these. So if you want the original experience with the enhanced graphics and everything, you can play it as it was. But there's quality of life updates, that are there. You can turn them on just to remove some of those annoyances, make it a bit easier for the average player to get through.
Yeah.
But if everyone found the story middling in the first instance, I don't think it's really going to change in this one. We'll just be able to get through with a few less annoyances. But hopefully, if it sells well enough, they might look at doing a Shenmue 4 to carry the story on. So I think the story is meant to have like lots more chapters left to go.
Yeah, and
Suzuki's got like a massive plan for it, but of course it's been going on that long. Everyone's probably forgotten what has even been happening in the previous games. I've long forgotten. I played the original on the Dreamcast donkeys years ago. I don't remember much about that apart from looking for sailors.
Yeah,
anything I can remember from it.
Rowan, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it can go two ways, really. It depends on sort of like how long they want to put in to this upgrade. Like if they're saying like, I was just going to release like this, I just imagine it being more sort of maybe some updated engine sort of stuff in the background to make it a bit more optimized and updated graphics sort of thing. But if they do take a bit more time, then having some quality of life improvements. I agree. I don't think it's going to be anything drastic because then it's not the enhanced edition sort of thing. So I think it's definitely more of the back end stuff and maybe a few tweaks to make quality of life improvements done.
Yeah.
And it could be something that they're going to release sooner rather than later because then they may announce the Shenmue 4 to finish off the story and that sort of thing. So it gets people into playing it again, having an easier time, ready to finish off some story arcs and whatnot in the future.
Okay. Well, as soon as we know more, we'll let you know. But literally, that dropped last Thursday. We were told about that Thursday last week. So as soon as we know, we'll know more. And then no doubt I will also then still call it Shimumi. So just to irritate people.
Are you going to sing like the song as well, like Family Guy? Instead of
no, I actually did Shimumi, yeah. Shimumi,
I love that.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that became a thing. Yeah. Danka says, ongoing storyline. Hope there is something added to at least give us a temp conclusion if for whatever reason 4 isn't made. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll take that into consideration. Maybe they won't. We'll have to see. We will have to see.
I mean, if they don't, that could be DLC for them in the future from that.
Yeah, see, that could be a thing, innit? I could do that, go down that route. You never know. You never know. Let's move on to our third game this evening. This came out last Thursday on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and it's also on Game Pass as well. This is Herdling. Let's have a look at this. There you go. So that is Herdling. Now, this is made by the people that made the Far games, isn't it, Dave? But they've gone for something a little bit different this time.
Yeah, that's right. This is another sort of probably not too dissimilar in a way to Sword of the Sea. What it's trying to do, it's another sort of emotional narrative adventure game. Another one where it doesn't really give you a huge amount of information, just kind of leaves you to it. But your basic task is you find these creatures just in the world, and you've got to help guide them from this sort of rundown city where they are up to a mountain where they can be safe. And along the way, there's going to be various things that are going to try and get in your way. So a few big birds swooping down to capture them. And the one thing that's quite cool with it is as you find each one of the characters, I think they're called calicorns. You find each calicorn in the game, you can either accept like a name that the game gives it, or you can name them yourself.
Okay.
So if you name them yourself, and then your creature gets carried off by a big bird, that's really going to get you in the heart.
Yeah.
The old hearts as Bob gets carried off, never to be seen again. But I think it looked pretty cool. I mean, I really enjoyed the Far games that Locomotive did before. They were awesome games. I absolutely loved them. So I'm looking forward to trying this. As you say, it's on Game Pass, so I've got it downloaded. So I think it's probably next for me after I've done Sword of the Sea. So I think it looks really cool. Artwork looks great. I like the design, the controls. The fact you can name them, it's quite cool as well. It looks like a very good game.
Yeah. Rowan, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I find like I would want to play this game, but I don't know if I'll be able to finish it. Weirdly enough, like looking at the trailer, the open world looks huge, and a little bit empty. But I think that's like kind of the whole game thing. So I feel like because it's so big, like I feel like I'd be herding them on a cliff, and I would accidentally just herd them all off the cliff. And then I'll be really upset, and I'll just be like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I've just done all that journey. I'm not going back. I can't. It's too much. But yeah, so it's interesting to me because some of the gameplay aspects in it does look really nice and detailed. And then when I was looking on the like Horizon sort of stuff, like does that detail carry through? Because obviously with herding, I'm guessing there's a lot of journey there. So I'd want to have those points of detail and where I'd find my otherwise I would find myself only going to a few spots or not enjoying the journey that I think you would be having with herding a load of what they are, which I've already forgotten the name of.
Yes, don't worry, so have I. There you go. Apparently it's $15.99 until Thursday on Steam, or you can get both the Far games included in a bundle for 20 quid. So that's 3 games for 20 quid. That's a deal.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah. So do that because both the Far games are excellent. I know I played the second one on this channel. I think one of them was in our top 15, wasn't it, Dave? I think you picked one of them quite a few years
I probably did.
Yeah.
Probably the second one.
Yeah. So definitely made it there. People sending me messages. They can wait. So we go. So let's see what people are saying. Get your scores in chat. What do we reckon this scored on average? And if you just joined us, we are guessing the scores to what the reviewers are saying. As I say, you might agree with it, you might not, but it's just a guess. Danka saying an 8. Dan saying an 8. iQuail saying an 8. M saying an 8.5. Flame saying a 7.5. We'll start with you, Dave, on this one. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go for an 8.
Go for an 8, okay. And Rowan, what do you reckon this one's got?
I'm going to go for like a 7.5, I think.
Okay, so
because when I was watching it, I was like, obviously I haven't played the game, so I have no idea. I was thinking like, this to me is more of the 7 out of 10 sort of 7.5 thing. So I think I'll go with a 7.5 and still be wrong.
Okay. Okay. All right, folks, this is your last chance to get your scores in the chat. This is Herdling, which came out last Thursday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and a Nintendo Switch. And you can get it on Game Pass as well. And if there are no more guesses, I can tell you that it's averaged an 8.5.
Wow.
We've had 3 games that are really high-end scores this week.
It is really high.
I'll get one eventually.
Yeah, 8.5. So the only person who got that was Ems. Well done, Ems. So you're now 2 for 3. So you are in the lead tonight. Well done. Our community member is in the lead. So you go. Damn good going, that one. So go check it out. Strong week so far. It is. And will it continue? We shall find out, because this is a game that we have covered before, because it is out on pretty much all platforms. However, on last Thursday, it did go to VR, and you can get this on MetaQuest VR, Steam VR, and PS2 VR. And this game that we are talking about is Grit and Valor 1949 VR edition. You're going to see some footage, because this is a combined one, because they're basically plugging the original game as well. So you're going to see some footage of the original game and then some of the VR stuff. So here comes the trailer for this. There you go. So Grit and Valor 1949 now hits VR as well on all VR platforms. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this and how it might have slightly changed from the game that we saw back earlier this year.
I've forgotten about this one. Did you actually talk about it earlier in the year? Because I can't remember.
I think, or we passed up on it. I can't remember. It's been that long.
My mind.
4 months is a long time when we talk about 8 games every week. So there you go.
You're right. Well, this is another roguelike game, but it's an RTS. It's got a sort of diesel punk aesthetic to it. It's like it's set in an alternate World War II where the Axis forces are dominated with mechs, but you're in the last-ditched push by the Allies. You've managed to get hold of some mechs. You're trying to, I think, deliver an EMP into Germany to try and stop the war. What they're doing with this in VR is it does feel like you're standing around a little like tabletop diorama. So you're using like the controllers, or I think you can use hand gestures in MetaQuest. So pick up the mechs and other things on the board and move them around. So that sort of gives you a bit of immersion there. So it feels like you're picking little toy pieces from the table and just placing them where you want them to go. Which that looks quite cool. That can be quite immersive doing that. Looks like it should be all right. I watched a video of it, but it was one that looked like the game needed a few patches because the guy was saying he couldn't read the text very well in the game and had a lot of bugs in there. But hopefully it will have been patched well enough so that stuff won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Because you definitely won't be able to read the text. I think there's probably quite a lot to read in there. It's going to be popping up rewards to you after you complete each match. You want to be able to tell what you're picking. But as long as all that stuff's sorted, then I think it could be quite a cool little RTS to play. Looks like it'd be fun in VR. Different way to play it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Got a score already. Danke says 7.5. If in doubt, pull a safe 7.5 card. There you go. Rowan, before we ask you for a score, what are your thoughts on this? That this is moved from?
Yeah, I originally thought when I first saw it, it's a tower defense game, and then it's kind of like one up on that where you have like the square map and it's more sort of road like as I said, which is a really sort of like interesting concept I haven't seen too much before. Sort of because normally they're in a big sort of skirmish map, not sort of a tiny little area. And seeing the VR side, I thought that's very nice and interesting. It's nice to have the surround thing. I thought if they were going to do it as well, like it would be cool if they had like an AR sort of aspect for MetaQuest 3, where you could actually just put it on a coffee table or whatnot while you're doing things else and you see it sort of like happening in front of you. Just gave them a free idea.
Yeah, you watch that'll come out now as a new patch.
Yeah, but I know also like VR can sometimes be bugging. As you said, there's been like a few bugs and that sort of stuff. So hopefully they've been patched up and updated for it, because it can be quite difficult with VR. It's surprisingly difficult sort of to design and make for and everything.
Okay.
But
we've got a couple more scores in chat. Ems is saying an 8. Icar is saying a 7. Flame saying a 7. So people are scoring this one a little bit lower than the last few games. But Rowan, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon this has got?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with the last couple here. When I was looking at it on a whole and stuff, I'm thinking it might on its own score a bit higher, but I know VR stuff can be a little bit hit harder sort of thing, I think, in a way. So I'm thinking a 7. I don't think it's like 6 or really bad and everything. It looks like a really enjoyable game and that sort of stuff. But I'm gonna go for a 7 on this one.
Okay, going for a 7. Dave, what do you reckon?
I think I might just try slightly lower just because of the problems I saw in the video review that I watched. I'll try a 6.5.
Going for a 6.5. Okay. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Grit and Valor 1949 VR edition, which came out last Thursday on MetaQuest, Steam VR, and PSVR 2. And if there are no more guesses in the chat, I can tell you that this got an 8 on average.
Oh, wow.
So seeing as we've watched a video where it's pointing out the bugs. Now, whether the people didn't point out the bugs in the reviews, I don't know, or whether they reviewed it when it got patched, I don't know. So it's a bit of an interesting one to see when you said that. But I kind of was thinking, from what you're saying, it would be a bit lower than that. But yeah, an 8 out of 10. So Ems, again, bang on the money with that one. You are now 3 for 4, I believe. So you are out in the lead, Ems. Well done.
Congratulations.
There you go. Doing well. Ems is like, Jesus. Yeah, it's a lucky week. It's a lucky week. Maybe it's because her last week as Community Member of the Month, it was meant to happen. So there you go.
Definitely.
There you go. Rowan must be my lucky charm, says Ems.
It's all right. I'm going to follow your advice. Next one. We'll get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I appreciate it to be a lucky charm too. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to some more news. Now, this is an interesting one. Obviously, we got at Gamescom a bit more reveal for the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which lands in November. But it's been interesting. Lands on November the 14th. But they've been getting a few comments from different game devs basically saying that COD's just basically being lazy because you're basically just getting the same stuff. Back at Summer Games Fest, the guys behind Splitgate 2 basically said they were fed up of playing the same game year in, year out, hence why they made Splitgate 2. The team behind Battlefield 6, which is probably going to be the biggest competitor, which comes out before Black Ops 7, has basically said they are ready to take it on because they are also sick of games that are basically doing the same thing time and time again. Now, the head guy from Treyarch stood up on stage and said, look, I have played Battlefield 6. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But we do what we do, and they do what they do, and we think we're putting out a decent game. Now, when we saw it last week, and we talked about this last week when they unveiled it, the one thing that is interesting, that is kind of separating it from the normal thing, is that for the first time ever, you've got co-op campaign with up to 4 players, which kind to me does sell the new COD. Before that, wasn't interested in it, but I'm like, I'm willing to give it a go. And I did really enjoy last year's Black Ops 6. But do the other game devs, I mean, he didn't have, to be fair, the guy from Treyarch didn't have a go back. Whereas the others have had a pop at Black Ops. He was just like, no, their games are good, and that's cool, and I enjoyed them, do our own thing. So he's kind of not really retaliate. But do we think that apart from the odd changes here and there, are they just getting lazy with these COD releases? That's my question.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's such a well-made game. I get so much money thrown at it budget-wise. You know, the gameplay plays so smooth. The multiplayer just plays really, really well. It's probably hard to really change it a huge amount. You know, the point is that it's probably at sort of peak of kind of what you can do with this type of game. Yeah. So I can appreciate, and probably the fact that it's annual as well. you're probably going to get a bit of a franchise fatigue setting in there because
Mm.
to the campaign, more multiplayer maps, more zombies, and they will start to feel the same, like any franchise does that goes on far too long. So I can understand people probably saying lazy for that reason, but there's still going to be a shitload of work that goes into it, isn't there, from the dev
Yeah, of
team?
course.
It's interesting though that it's the same dev team this year as last year's Black Ops 6. It's Treyarch again, whereas usually it's the next studio and then another one, and then it would be Treyarch. So interesting that they've kind of done 6 and 7 in parallel, so they say. So kind of hope that it does still feel like a full game and not just short affair like you had with Modern Warfare 3. Its campaign had a lot of flack thrown at it because that was very good. So hopefully they've still got a meaty campaign there.
Yeah.
And with the co-op, up to 4-player co-op, hopefully that'll at least differentiate a little bit from what it usually is, because it's just a single player campaign, isn't it? So it's kind of that's going to make it feel a little bit different this year.
Yeah.
Still, probably going to have all sorts of silly skins in the multiplayer to make it feel a bit more like Forza. Most people want it to feel. But still, at least Battlefield's out for your gritty realism.
Yeah.
Well, unless EA do anything stupid between now and its release. Hopefully not.
No, I don't think they will. Dank says the storyline is certainly not looking to be a cut and paste job this year. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it does look something very different. It's very cyberpunk-esque in some ways. But
very sci-fi, isn't it? Some of the stuff in the trailer.
Yeah, my only worry is last time they tried to do a sci-fi one, it was probably regarded as one of the worst CODs. And it had the bloke who was Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. It's like, not so good, that one. What was that? Call of Duty
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah. But anyway. Rowan, your thoughts?
I'm conflicted in ways. I can see people's opinions being very valid. I think in this sense, there is a demand for it. People do buy COD, sort of games, and they're very competitive with it online and that sort of stuff. So there is a clear demand for it, but where they're saying, lazy and that sort of stuff, no offense to people who like it, you can equally say that about sort of Forza Horizon maybe, or football sort of games and everything, sort of, because football games don't give too much new sort of every year in that sense, because it's the same sort of football game, so you can have the same sort of arguments out there. But it seems like, because I remember playing like Nazi Zombies right in the beginning, absolutely loved it and that sort of thing, and playing Black Ops 1, having the dolphin dive, that was good. I think with the two studios, when they add or take different mechanics from each, that's when they kind of lost me a bit, because I would like some mechanics from one and then not another. And of course, it's just been single player games. But I think maybe they thought of like, we've added so much to this genre. What can we do new? They're having the co-op stuff and the campaign being built for that in mind is actually really interesting. And like you said, like it would be something, because I haven't played COD in ages, but I would play it with friends of mine that do play those sort of games, because I moved from COD to Battlefield basically because I love the aspect of I'm in this big area, someone gets a tank or a plane and blows me up through a wall and that sort of thing. The destruction aspect of like 15-year-old me was insane, sort of like it was just like, this is exactly what I want. I say 15-year-old me, I probably was like 18 or something. But yeah, it was. So it's nice to see that they, like the last few seem, I would say, more copy and paste, because it's just single player campaign, it's this, and they just have, I guess, skins, microtransactions, whatever. In some sense, it looks like they're trying to bring it back in or give it a bit more of a fresh coat of paint to make it look newer. But yeah, it's hard because COD is, it's nothing else. It's just people, guns, shoot, that army sort of style mission sort of stuff. Like there's only so much of it you can do. And even story-wise, like trying to create a new one of them each time is a mission in itself. Like how much can they do before it is very much saturated? And like they'd have to then give it a break, which obviously they wouldn't do because it makes them money.
Exactly.
And that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a tough one. I can see people's opinions sort of being really valid and that sort of thing. But I think at least they're trying. You know, the horse isn't exactly dead yet. They've got some like defibs there trying to get it back.
Yeah, I don't think they are beating a dead horse yet. But yeah, it is that thing where I don't know. Like, it does worry me that we did discuss this a couple of weeks back, that they did start to break it up so that it wasn't coming out every year. But now Microsoft have taken over. It seems that it's coming out every year again. I'm a little bit. It's going to get to a point where we're going to get that
like every 6 months. It had a new one.
It's never been that bad. It's literally at once a year.
It's been annual for quite a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think the hope was Microsoft a bit of a breather, but they didn't. I mean, it just makes too much money to rest it for any length of time, doesn't it?
Yeah,
the shareholders want their bonuses. Get this game out because it makes a fortune.
Yeah, they actually churn it out very quickly. John Unicycle, thank you for being here. If you've got to pop off, then we'll catch you in a bit. Hopefully, we'll see you a bit and again. And Sophie, she's probably already gone, but thank you very much for being here, Soph. Take care and good night. And iQuell's joke, I'm going to put it up once more time. He says, the one thing I learned during my time in Grimsby is haddock was their preference over cod. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's move on to our fifth game of tonight. This came out last Thursday on PC and Xbox Series X, S, and One. And this is quite simply called Kill the Brickman.
Kill the Brickman.
I have no idea what the hell this is. I'll be honest. I kind of watched that trailer 3 times now, and I still have no idea. Dave, hopefully you can shed a little bit of light on this one, because otherwise I've got no clue.
Yeah, not the best try to explain anything. If you remember games like Breakout or Arkanoid, where you bounce a little object around the screen to break the blocks, kind of like that, really. But this one's a roguelike game. I think it's turn-based stuff too, but it's a roguelike game, and you've got different types of bullets to load into your gun. So bullets got different effects, like they'll explode or they'll have corrosive effects. You can get certain buffs by loading the bullets in a particular way in the gun. So there's a few things like that to help make the gameplay a little bit deeper. But once you've loaded the bullet, you aim it somewhere at the blocks, fire it, and it'll hit them, bounce around, do some certain effects, and hopefully eventually take out the little Brickman blocks, which you just get rid of to progress to the next level. I can't say the game really grabs me. When I was watching the video review of it, graphically didn't really do much for me. I don't really like the graphical style of it, and I didn't really like the audio either. I didn't think the audio sounded particularly good. It sounded a little bit rubbish. I didn't have too much of a budget for it, so I can say this is probably all the games we've got on tonight. This is one I definitely would just skip and ignore. Yeah, just not really for me at all. Interesting idea, but just did not grab me for the gameplay I saw. Might be up some people's alley, but don't know. Perhaps
not. Let's see. Got a couple of it's cheap. Apparently, it's £3.59. So that's cheap.
Not bad for that price.
No, it's not bad. Danka says, "No, my luck, this is going to be an 8." Jem says a 7. But before we talk scores, Rowan, could you make head or tail of what this was?
I mean, the faces scared me pretty shit. They did look horrific. But yeah, it looked. I'm glad it's 3.59 sort of thing, because if they were like, it's like the 5 would have been my max sort of thing. Looking at it for like what I'd kind of pay for in this bracket. I don't know if that sounds really mean in that, but it looked polished in a nice way, like, and it had a lot more to offer from what it appeared. You know, you got the missions and that sort of thing, sort of going there or stuff. And for like a brick block sort of breaking game, like it seems like there's a lot going on. So there's like a lot more to it than meets the eye, and I think that's an interesting thing. I kind of agree with Dave. It's not my kind of game, and out of the lineup that everything else, this probably is the one I would miss because it's just I don't know why. It's just not my kind of vibe. Sort of thing. And plus the faces are scary as hell. But you know,
it's a bit odd looking. I'm not keen on this either. iQuell going for an 8. Ems is going for 7.5 on this one. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon to this one?
God, I don't know for this one. I'm going to try a safe 7, I think.
A safe 7. All right. Okay. Rowan, your thoughts? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm hovering around that sort of mark as well. But I think I've got to go with M's on the 7.5 a little bit more.
Okay.
Because they seem to be going very good in
They're doing very well. Yeah.
like sort of thing. So I'm going to trust them, and I think it might be around that mark.
Okay, going for a 7.5. Flame going more the way of Dave with a 7. But folks, this is your last chance. Get your scores in for Kill the Brickman, which came out last Thursday on PC, Xbox Series XS and 1. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that I am just like, what the fuck? Because this got an 8 out of 10 on average.
No way.
Wow.
I think this is the best run of game scores we've had in quite a few weeks because we normally get some very fair things. But yeah, spookily, this gets an 8 out of 10. And unfortunately, Ems says, my streak is broken.
Oh,
yes,
no.
but you are still in the lead, Ems. You're still in the lead. And Dank is like, damn it. I told you. You got an 8. I know, yeah. So, iQuell will get someone to give you a shout out. Danker got an 8. So, on that, because I don't think
That's
you
crazy.
But there you go. Well done for that. But yeah, 8 out of 10. And I'm a bit like, what?
It looked very polished and like a lot in there. So I guess it's
pretty mint. We're getting raided by the wonderful Slope.
Oh.
DJ Slope, how you doing, buddy? Welcome on in. Thank you so much for the raid. Got a little dance. How are you doing, buddy? How was your stream, my friend? Can we get a shout out for Slopes, please? Welcome on in. Hi, I'm Mag, also known as Middle-Aged Gamer Guy, with my co-host that knows the most, Dave, and our guest this week, Rowan from mbpuk.net, who makes some amazing manuals for Switch and Switch 2 games. Emmy, hello. Happy dance. How you doing? Welcome in. Amanda, hello. Hello, lovely. Mwah. How are you? Great to see you. Slopes, thank you so much for that raid. I hope you had an amazing stream. If you are not following DJ Slope, then you must be mental because he is brilliant. Not only a great streamer, but fantastic YouTuber. Got a number of channels, stuff to do with kick scammer. He has kick scammers. He has also where he does the history of certain games, deep dives into it, and also does some fabulous documentaries into other things that might be scams. I know he might be working on something that I'm not going to say, but he mentioned it to me in Timeless. So I hope that becomes a thing. But also goes to family days out, goes to places like Alton Towers and other places. So go click that little heart at the top of the page, because if you're not following Slopes, then what is wrong with you people? There you go, because he's such a good guy. We love him to bits. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Amanda says, hello, handsome. I'm all right. Hope you are as well. I'm doing very, very well. Even better for seeing you. So there you go. Welcome on in. We are just about to talk about another game, because we are talking about review scores for games. This also came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And this game is called Discounty. Let's have a look at the trailer for this one.
Rated E for everyone.
This is Blomkest Business Report. Locals have staged a boycott of the new Discounty supermarket, leaving its aisles nearly empty. Just weeks ago, an upstart out-of-towner rebuilt this failing shop into a thriving supermarket. Locals and commuters alike were lured in by its attractive displays and low prices, as it quickly became central to the local economy.
I was doing more business than ever selling a discounted, but I don't know. Weird stuff started happening just as they showed up.
Others say the store's frequent expansion has gone too far and risks damaging the town's cultural heritage. Can Discounty find a way to meet protesters' demands? Or will they be forced to close so soon after opening? Stay tuned. Discounty is out now on PlayStation 4 and 5.
PlayStation.
And also Xbox and PC, because they sent us a PlayStation ad. That's why I got that one. So, Dave, tell us a little bit more about this, because this isn't just a, hey, cute little let's build a shop and sell stuff, is it? It's very different.
Yeah, there's a bit more to it. At its heart, it is a little life sim, management sim. Your character's inherited the supermarket, and you've got to sort of build it, make it grow, get the stock in, price it, man the tools, keep your customers happy, run promotions and all that. But as well as doing that, there is the town to explore, characters to meet, and they've got their own sort of story arcs. There's little narrative quests in there as well, and there's some mysteries around the town. So it sounds like there's quite a bit for you to do, as well as just run the supermarket and keep it running well. So I think it sounds like quite a cool management game. I like the pixel art graphics to it. They look very, very cool.
Yeah.
And I think anyone who likes this type of game, if you like stuff like, say, Stardew Valley or 2 Point Hospital, you're probably going to enjoy this one, because I think it's got a little sort of satirical edge to it. It doesn't take itself too seriously. So it's got a pretty good day, pretty good time.
Now, interesting enough, because Dank says it's a P-Cube game. It is. And me and Misty, Miss Antics, who some of you may know from this channel, we're having this discussion that no one in the P-Cube partnership seems to have been offered this game, which is really weird. So we don't know what's happening with it, because otherwise we probably would have covered it. But we did see it at Gamescom last week. It got a big in-depth look on Gamescom, so it looks pretty cool. Apparently it's £13.59 until the 4th of September, if you want to try it out. And he did say, like you said, Dave, so it's Stardew Valley for people who want to start up a company. Exactly. Drawn says, I'm on the train underground waiting to pull out. What you do in your own time is none of your business. Just putting that out there. But if it's too Stardew, I'll hate it. But there you go. Rowan, your thoughts on this one?
I feel like a lot of people love this one. From the looks of it, it gives the essence of Stardew, but there's so much attention to details, and there seems to be a lot that you can do about it, and obviously a lot in story progression. Like the little pops when items come up, and the way you can move around, make things go. I can find a lot of gameplay in this, and possibly even replay sort of ability. And it just seems very nicely done, and a very complementing sort of art style to go with it. So yeah, I definitely find my girlfriend playing this game a heck of a lot. I was like, this is definitely her sort of jam, sort of thing. But yeah, it's an interesting game. I'll definitely be looking into playing this one, especially do we know if the price increases then from the 4th of September? Because that's actually a really good price point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it might go up. Is it on a special offer? Yeah, I guess it is, and maybe it's going to. What would it normally cost, Danker? Can you let us know, if you'd be so kind? And for those who've just joined us, we don't technically review the games, but we guess the scores that the reviewers gave it, and we get a average score. So it's going up from 13.59 to 60.99. So it's only going up by a couple of quid, which is not too bad. But if folks want to just come in from Slopes' raid, please do have a guess. You might get yourselves a shout out in the channel. Let's see what scores the people are saying. Dank is going for an 8. Flame says an 8. Drawn says an 8. M says an 8.5. Rowan, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon this got?
You know what? I can see the 8.5 sort of aspect of them, but I'm going to set for this one a little bit higher. because I've been very low so far. I'm going to go for a solid 9. I think it's a 9 sort of game.
Ooh, okay. Going for a solid 9. Dan Game Tank says an 8 for this one. John says the train's pulling out. Oh, I'm glad you clarified that. When I'm above ground, I'll be back. No worries, mate. We'll see you shortly. Dave, what say you?
I'll try an 8.5.
Go for an 8.5. Okay. Folks, last chance. This is Discounty, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And if there are no more guesses in the chat, iQuell sneaking in there with an 8. I can tell you that this is annoyingly our lowest scoring game of the night.
Oh, no, really? Oh, really? I would have thought that would have done quite well.
7.5 on average.
Oh, that looked like it had way more. It
I
shows
know.
what I know.
Compared to the game that we talked about before, I would have thought this would have scored even higher, but apparently this got 7.5.
I'd still pick this one over the last game, though.
Yeah, same. It's crazy, isn't it? Danka says, oh my God, that hurts a bit. For me as well, I would have thought this would have been quite good. So, yeah, a little bit kind of annoyed about that one. And I don't think anyone got that right. So nobody got that right on that one.
Wow.
But go try it. It's probably excellent. So
I'm
go
surprised.
Yeah. As I say, you don't always agree with what the reviewers say, because they don't always get it right. But apparently 7.5. There you go. Now, going back a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about the fact that how the US are kind of getting screwed with all the Trump's tariffs and basically prices inflating in the US. And obviously, the original Nintendo Switch, not the Switch 2, but the original Switch and all its accessories and parts and components, and even the Amiibos were all shooting up in price. Well, unfortunately, PlayStation fans, it's now your turn to be hit by the Trump tariffs because PS5 prices have now gone up as of last Thursday. This literally landed straight away. So basically, all consoles have gone up by $50 in the US. So if you had a standard PS5, it will now cost you $500. The disc edition will now cost you $550. And a PS Pro will now cost you $750. So, again, it's all been hit. There's a lot of talk, especially at Gamescom, with Xbox unveiling their new Rogue Ally and the other Ally handheld console, but they're keeping very tight-lipped at what the price is. Now, obviously, we also discussed that. Hello, June Dog. How you doing? We also discussed the fact that Nintendo said, yes, we've had to put the prices up, the Switch OLED, the Switch, and all the other stuff, but the Switch 2 price remains, luckily. So, it's not looking great for console gamers, especially people who've not got those consoles, because the price has gone up. But where do we think, because no prices have been announced, even though they showed off these new handheld Xbox consoles, where do we think it's going to kind of land price-wise? Not just for the UK, the US.
They're not going to be cheap because they're expensive things to make, and PC handhelds are still a bit of a niche market, and it's got pretty new processors in them. So I think they're going to be expensive. We're probably talking. I've seen some rumours of prices. I think there's some thought about $550, $600 for the lower spec model of that Xbox handheld, and about $800 plus for the other one.
Yeah,
which would make it more expensive than the PS5 Pro. But that's the thought at the moment. But I mean, if you look at the prices for the current ROG Allies, those are expensive. So I don't see the Xbox one's been done much cheaper than what those other ones are.
It's going to be interesting. And do we think that Xbox consoles will also go up in price in the US? Rowan, what do we reckon?
Yeah, so I think they're going to go up in price. I think they're going to match, because unless they want to try and get more of a bigger market now, seeing as the cheaper of them, I think they're going to join them up. Because I really thought Nintendo did it to, one, because they kind of have to, obviously, overall type thing, but they did it maybe a bit more to then keep the Switch 2 lower, kind of where it is, even out type things. But with the PlayStation sort of doing it now and that sort of stuff, I think it's only a matter of time before Xbox equally joins them with a new standard sort of pricing thing. And with the portable ROG Ally one sort of thing, I think it's going to be about like £900 on the higher end of it, definitely, because you're paying for two sort of brand names as well as like probably as much sort of tech as they can kind of get in the small system. It's, they're not cheap. You see them on like Kickstarters and that sort of thing, like from GPD and that sort of stuff, and they'll easily be 800, 900 or more, sort of thing for their stuff. So
we're getting another raise. And a couple of people we were just talking about. Hello, Moonchild for the raid. We were talking about you earlier. Hello, Lady Doll. How are you? Guildfly. Good evening, JL. How you doing? Thank you so much. Hope you're well. Welcome in, Raiders. How was your stream, Mooney? Great to have you here. Moonbeard, hello. We were talking. You're going to love this. I'm going to say this. We were talking. If Mooney and Guildfly were here, our first news story was that Shenmue 3 is going to be remastered. But I said, but as I would call it, Shimumi 3. So I'm gonna do that gag again. But you weren't here. But you are. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in. This is Tuesday Night Gaming Chat. We are here with my co-host that knows the most, Mr. David Jones, and our guest this week from MVP UK. It is Rowan, who you may also recognise from Timeless Gaming Convention. There you go. Go follow Moonchild. There's a little heart on the top of the chat. If you're not following her, she is awesome. She was also the creator that shifted the most tickets for Timeless, so won some amazing prizes. So congratulations again for being our creator this year, for doing that. Thank you so much for all your love and support, which is absolutely amazing. Welcome in. But yes, the stream was fun. Did an SE sponsor enjoy it so much? Which sponsor one were you playing? Lady Doll, hello. How are we all? She was like, oh, what have I done now? You haven't done anything. We were talking about Shimumi. Yeah. There you go. Shimumi. Beautiful. There you go. Love it. It should now forever be Shimumi free in my brain. There you go. Living rent free. I haven't played Shenmue. I see. I nearly said Shimumi free then. Shenmue free yet. The reason is that I haven't finished the first one yet. Oh, it'll take a while. Realms of Pixels. Yes, I've heard of that one. I've heard of that. I've heard of Realms of Pixels. Pocket Locket. Hello. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome on in. Thank you so much. We are about to talk about some new games that haven't even come out yet. We are about to talk about some games, but the reviews have literally landed. Now, technically, if you did the special pre-order, you could actually start playing this game as of yesterday. This is a game that people have been waiting for a long time. This is due out this Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. And we've got 2 more games to go. And these are the big hitters for the show this week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. She'd double-cross us like this.
We will use the legacy to heal that rift and make the world whole again. To do this, we need strength, an unstoppable trump card with enough power to bring order to the world.
Do you love her?
No, nothing like that.
Do you hate her?
For 10 years, we lived and died together. You couldn't possibly understand.
And you think you can kill her now?
Hey, don't you go getting any funny ideas.
We can't leave yet. I've still got one last job to do.
She's at the lake. She's waiting for you there.
We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy.
What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
You're a soldier. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. I've been waiting, Snake. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today.
PlayStation. There you go, folks. Now, a lot of people are looking forward to this, and this featured in our top 50 games to look out for in 2025. And as you know, Danka was trying to pre-predict scores, what they might get. So he's coming in straight away with 8.5. He's not allowed to change that score because he predicted it back in January. So we will see if he is right or not. But yeah, this is a big hitter, really, isn't it? A lot of people are excited for this. It's been a long time since the original came out on PlayStation, isn't it, Dave?
Oh yeah, a long time. This was considered one of the high points of the series. I think probably only beaten by Metal Gear Solid 5 for a number of people, but this one is still held in a very high regard. And this is a very faithful remake of it. So whilst it's got a nice graphical glow up because it's been completely remade in Unreal Engine 5, it is still the original game. It plays like it. All the cutscenes are the same, all shot for shot the same. It really, it's probably like how you remember the original game through rose-tinted glasses. You can swear behind the original looked like this. It's that sort of remake, but it is exactly the same game. So if you like the original game, you'll probably like replaying it here. If you didn't like it, nothing really here to swing it for you. It has got a couple of, I think, sort of minor updates to it, just to make it play a bit more normally for like the modern audience. So there's a newer control scheme here, but you can still use the original control scheme. And whilst it's got the sort of more standard third-person camera, I think you can also switch back to the original top-down that the game had when it originally released on PS2. So you've got a few options there to tailor it to how you want to play. But otherwise, it's just Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater again. But it looks really, really pretty this time.
Yeah,
I'm quite tempted to play it because I never did finish it back in the day. Did try playing it twice on PS2, but I can't remember how far I got. Not very far the first time. A bit further when it came back out as the subsistence package where they'd done a few improvements, but still didn't get that far. Maybe I'll try it again a third time with the charm. I'll see.
Okay.
I am tempted.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Blue Lou. How you doing? Blue Lou was like, is the film still happening? We don't know. We've not heard anything about it for a while, but we'll see. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. Also, Victor 6 Games Legends. I'm back in action. Hope you're all well. Great to see you. Great to have you back. Lovely to see you as always. John Newsuckle, I could never get into Metal Gear Solid games. I'm a bit like that, but I am very tempted to try this because I've heard so many good things. And I'm not gonna lie. Me and Dave have got to Dave Johnson, not this Dave, are kind of sorting out the September schedule because there's a lot of massive games that come out. There's a lot of stuff that comes out this week that we want to try and cram in as well. So we have applied for a copy of this, because I'm kind of like been swaying over to I actually want to give this a go. Whereas for the rest of the year, I've been kind of like not that fussed about it because I never really played the Metal Gear games. But as time's been going on, I'm like, oh, I might actually want to try it. So we have applied to get a copy. So fingers crossed we get a copy. We will cover it. And if we do cover it, it's probably going to be next week. So fingers crossed. See what happens with that. Rowan, your thoughts on this? Did you ever play the original?
Yeah, I haven't played it. I played like Metal Gear Solid 4. That was like the big one I more played. But I know of the original sort of one for this one, and this one looks gorgeous, really, to put it bluntly. It's definitely one that I think if when it's out, that's what I think I'll give it a bash as well.
Yeah.
Because I've only played like Meta 4 to be honest, more, and I know 5's done a different route, so it's good to see that they have things in place for like both sides of the party and that sort of stuff. The story seems really, really nice as well from that series, if I remember that game. So with the uplift and everything as well, it just looks lovely to play. Like, I wouldn't say no. You know what I mean?
The only thing I think that might go against this is that if people might not realise, it's not that long a game, is it? I think it's about 8 hours.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Yeah,
not necessarily a bad thing though. But
no,
a lot of people love their 100-hour plus games these days.
True,
one of them. I prefer a shorter game.
I think I get that, but the issue you are looking at is it's a 60 quid game, which I think for 8 hours is a little bit of a dilemma.
It has got an extra mode though.
Sorry, go on. Rowan, you go first. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I totally understand the aspect when people say like 60 quid, 8 hours or so. But I would rather have like an 8-hour game that is gripping in story and everything I want as an experience, rather than one that's not as gripping, but it's 100 hours, and it's just a lot of grinding and grafting.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff. Because I mean, when you think about it, as well, like you go outside and you want to have experience days, they cost like 50, 100 quid at a time, and they can last like only an hour and that sort of stuff or whatnot. Sort of in real life. So for games and everything, £60 I would say could be higher, but if it's a really good game, solid story, solid everything, I'd say I would still very much enjoy it for that price.
There you go. Drawn is agreeing with you. As Dave also said, there's another game mode as well, isn't there?
That's right.
That's good.
On the PlayStation and PC, it's Snake vs. Monkey. They've changed it slightly for the Xbox release because the monkey's in the PS.
Yeah, because it's
from the Ape Escape game.
Ape Escape,
yeah. So you've got another mode there. In the main game, there's different things you can do to make certain events play out slightly differently. So it's got a bit of replay value. And since it is a shorter game, you might find people will try and replay it to do some of these other things.
Yeah,
because you can still do it in a reasonable time frame. So again, like Rowan said, if it's a well-made game that's got a good story, lasts for a shorter time, that's still good. I'd still rather play that than the drawn-out games that we do get at the moment.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed, for example.
Yeah, still not finished that new one. But anyway.
Probably never will. They won't let you into it.
Yeah, probably never will. Right, folks, for those who've just come in on Mooney's Raise, then if you don't know what we're doing, we don't review the games, but you can guess what the reviews and critics were, what the scores were. You can have any number from 1 and 10. You can have halves and whole numbers. So get your scores in the chat. We are guessing the scores for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which comes out on Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and PC. But if you did pre-order it, you could actually start playing it as of yesterday. So there you go. So get your scores in now. Dave, I'm going to start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to try an 8.5.
8.5, okay. Emmy says an 8 out of 10. Mooney says a 7 out of 10. Flame says an 8. Victor says an 8.5. Ems says an 8. iQuell says a 9. Dan says 8.5. And John says 8.34916482955037 is not a valid score. Correct. JL says a 7. That said, 8.5. Thank you, John. Rowan, what do you reckon this got?
I'm kind of getting feels of like a Final Fantasy remake, rebirth sort of thing. It gives me that sort of like vibes of where it is the rose-tinted glasses. It's like people really want to play this game, and this is how they imagined it being, basically. So I'm gonna say 9. I was thinking on 9.5 maybe, like it might be that good, but
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a good 9. I think.
Okay, going with a
Looks
9.
good.
Okay, all right. Dave, remind me, what did you say?
I said 8.5.
8.5, that's fine. John Newshaw says, I can see rules. It's polished like the Resident Evil 4 remake. Yes. So good. It could be good. Okay. Last chance, folks. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater comes out this coming Thursday, unless you've already bought it, and then you could be playing it as of yesterday, on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you it's got an 8.5 out of average.
Oh, well done.
8.5 out of 10. So we got quite a lot of people who got this right for this one. So well done to Joran Unicycle. Hey, Joran, how you doing? And he's here for the talk show. Hello, Joran. Long time no see. Good to see you. Drawn, well done. Dan Game Tank, well done. Victor, well done. And Danka, who guessed what the score would be back in January, got it right as well.
Nicely done.
Dan says, that's my first correct answer since 1892. Well done, Dan. Well done. And also, I'm going to mention this. Danka said, we did the top 50 games you want to look out for in 2025. And we do that show at the start of every year. It's a 2-part show that we start in January because obviously there's no games out in January. And there's only a handful of games left on our list, which all come out next month because 2 of the games got pushed back to next year. So after September, we have no more games on that list. So then we've got this weird gap, but then we'll do that show again for 2026. So don't worry. And we'll see. So there you go. But yeah, it made it. It made it out. Well done to everyone. John says, at least I finally see Dave. I know. He's here. He's here.
How you doing?
There you go. There you go. Joran used to be a regular.
Well done, Dave. Well done, Dave.
Yeah, there you go. Well done to everyone who got that right. Enjoy it. There's all the shout outs. And as I always say, please do go follow all these people that got it correct. They spend the time to come and watch this show week in, week out. So please do click on those links. Please do give them a follow. It'd be greatly appreciated by myself and Dave and the rest of the chat if you do that. So thank you for supporting us. Let's move on to another news story. And this is an interesting one because Microsoft have not actually announced this yet. But someone may have gone and spoiled it because a car company based in Australia posted out a social post, which has now been deleted, saying that they had some people from the Forza Horizon team coming down to take pictures of a specific Japanese type of van, which are called K-cars, K-E-I, K-cars. They're like little minivans, right? That are very rare. And you can't get them in America, but they had a number of these vehicles in Australia. So the team from Playground Games came down, took photos to basically then recreate. And they accidentally put in the social post, yeah, the team from Forza come down to take pictures for their next game, which immediately makes people go, so we know where the next game's going to be. It's going to be Japan. Because these cars originated in Japan. So the post has now since been removed. They accidentally said that the game's coming out next year, even though that nothing has officially been announced. So this is something that a lot of Forza Horizon fans have been very excited for because obviously when it started out, it was in Europe. Then they took it to America. We then had Australia. We then had the UK. And then we had Mexico for the last game. They seem these games honestly do get better and better. But a racing game set in Japan for Forza Horizon seems like the dream deal. Now, not only this, but Forza Horizon 5 came out on PlayStation for the first time. And it is actually the biggest selling PlayStation 5 game for the first half of the year. So Microsoft have done good with that. Considering all the other stuff that's come out on PlayStation, Forza Horizon 5 for the first 6 months of the year was the biggest selling PlayStation game. How mental is that? So a 6-1, and we don't know if that's coming straight to PlayStation straight away, but a 6-1 will probably, PlayStation gamers and Microsoft gamers alike, will probably lap this up. So do we think, yes, it's going to be in Japan, or do you think they'll just do something completely random and go, oh, shit?
It does seem quite likely, doesn't it, with the type of cars that they're photographing? So
yeah.
I think there's got to be a good reason for doing it. So it'd be a cool place for it to go next. So I think it's been a fan requested location. And I think they could do some good stuff like with the scenery around there. There's probably some good city race tracks that you could do. We've played ones in other games that are really good to race, and so they could do some cool stuff in Horizon. So
yeah,
I think it could be good. Quite happy it does go to Japan.
Yeah, I really I loved the last couple of games. I think
they've been brilliant.
Yeah, Forza 5 was in our top 15 games again when it came out. It's coming up to nearly 3 years ago. Can't believe that. So which is mental. But yeah, Rowan, have you played the Forza Horizon games? If so, would you like the next one to be in Japan?
I haven't got them personally. I think I got like an older one. But I have played it with friends, and they're really lovely games. Honestly, like as a racing game goes, they're I think the best really sort of ones out there. Definitely, if it's set in Japan, I would buy it instantly. I love that country and the landscapes and everything. Like I can see it looking just because they look so realistic and beautiful. Anyway, I could just, visually you can see it. My only other thing is if they're taking pictures of Japanese cars as well. The only other thing I could possibly guess is that they'd be going to like Hong Kong or China or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're including sort of possible cars from around that sort of
that could be a thing. That could be a thing. It'd be quite funny that, as you said, like go to Taiwan or somewhere else or China, and it turns out, or Hong Kong.
They'd equally be very beautiful locations, I think, as well.
Yeah. But with the Japanese culture and the drifting culture, and maybe that's something that would fit in.
I can see it.
Yeah. So I'll have to say, nothing. I will state nothing has officially been announced by Microsoft or Playground Games on this. So it was something that accidentally got posted out from this company that collects rare cars based in Australia, and then we're like, shit, we've got to take that down. So take it with a pinch of salt. But if it is happening, it's highly likely that that's going to happen. So we'll see. So more news as and when it hits, but Microsoft have said nothing on the matter as it stands. Moving on to our 8th and final game of the night. We are having a bit of a revival of the side-scrolling slasher game. Obviously, literally a couple of weeks ago, and you saw on my stream last Thursday, I was playing Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. And now we are getting a Sega classic revitalized for this year. And this comes out on Friday, but all the reviews have dropped. And this is another game that I potentially want to stream next month. God knows how I'm going to fit all these streams in. God help me. Now, before we move on, I'm going to say that Fury, hello, Fury, how you doing? Says hello. And now Hong Kong is test drive territory. Now, they did do the last test drive game, didn't they? And unfortunately, that game was abysmal. I'm going to say that right now. Test Drive Unlimited was a shocking game. Going to be Japan. Why it's rumored to be announced at the Tokyo Game Show this year. Oh, so they could save that. So, yeah, we might get that announced sooner than we think. So we might get that in the next month or two. So there you go. So moving on. We've got, it's not Vector Man, Side Drawn News Cycle, but we have got a Sega classic. And this is from the same people that did the Amazing Streets of Rage 4. This is coming out on Friday on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S, 1, Switch, and PC. And this is the brand new Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
It seems nothing can stop a shinobi on the warpath. Fury in your eyes.
Tear him to shreds!
There you go. The brand new Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which comes out this Friday. A lot of people very hyped for this. Dave, tell us more about this, please.
Yes, this is a nice fast-paced 2D action platformer. I think it's a bit of a reboot of the classic Shinobi series. I think I remember playing one of these way back when on the Mega Drive, I think. Yeah, pretty good game back in the day. It's nice to see they're bringing it back, but keeping it in the original 2D style, because we've seen it before. They've brought an old series, tried to make it into, say, a 3D action game. It never works quite as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice that the team doing this. I think it's the same team that did Streets of Rage 4. Got mentioned.
It is.
That was good because that kind of kept to the old style as well. Nicer graphics. This is just kind of doing the same thing. Nice fast-paced action platformer. It's got a bit of I think Metroidvania to the levels. It's not like a big interconnected map or anything because they're all individual levels, but there's some secrets and stuff to find. You can backtrack in the levels if you get particular equipment and get to new areas. So a little bit of replay value there. If you miss things the first time, go back through and find it the next time. But it looks pretty cool to me. I think story-wise in this one, it's just one of those ones where your clan's been destroyed by an evil corporation. You're out for revenge.
Yeah.
You don't really need much of a story for these. It just looks like it'll be cool platforming and hacking the enemies to pieces with your katana.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a good one. I'd give this a go.
Yeah. Looks good. I really want to play this. I can't wait. And then, as Emmy said, that Slopes has already played it, which is really cool. Apparently, this sniper enemy looks like the playable character from MDK. So they've hidden little Easter eggs in the game, which sounds so cool. Rowan, your thoughts on this, and we'll start looking at what people are saying for scores.
That's really good. I definitely get the older sort of styling, still keeping in that very messenger sort of vibes, sort of things, and the way that the movement combat, obviously you need to get a feel of the controls, but it looks like it's very fluid in what you want to do, sort of thing, which is definitely what you want in these sort of games. So yeah, it's definitely one I'd play. It looks really good to play. And just beautiful overall, really. So yeah, it's great. It looks great.
It looks fantastic. I can't wait to play this. I'm really enjoying Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, but I think this will, this could top that. We'll see. Dankery's guessing at 8.5. iQual is going for a 9. M says an 8.5. Emmy says it's a 10 out of 10. And Fury says 10 out of 10 all day long. Amazing game and equal running mate to Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. There you go. Thank you very much. Hack and slash platformer fans are eating well just now. Also, Sega getting code to review super early should be credit to them. Let them in the know have actual time with it. So I hear, this is why the reviews are dropping so early for both this and Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear reviews were dropping at the back end of last week, and the game doesn't come out till Thursday. Reviews were dropping yesterday for this and today, and this doesn't even come out till Friday. So this was kind of, Dave was like, I think we should cover these this week because there is a ton of other stuff that's coming out next week. So it was a smart move. Flame says an 8 for this one. JL, an 8. Gilfly says, I'll say an 8. Dan, 8.5. Drawn, 9. I'm going to start with you, Rowan. What do you reckon this has got?
I think, like I said, I don't necessarily know the story elements, so I'm going to take that maybe into account. But I think overall, I'm going to say it's a good. Oh no, wait! Now I'm doubting myself now. Because I was like, is it a 9, 9.5? And then I was like, wait, no, is it an 8.5? And but I'm going to stick in my middle. I'm going to say it. So it's a good 9. It looks like a very good 9.
Okay, all right. Dave, what say you?
I was thinking 9 as well. I'll go with the same.
All right. So, not to cloud anyone's judgment, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, literally 3 weeks ago when we covered that, got an 8.5 on the show. So the question is this better? Right? Would be interesting to do a quick status check next week to see if it massively changed. Well, yeah, because this is obviously at the time of writing now. So all the reviews that I got so far, but this is what the average review score was today. If there is, I'm going to say this is your last chance to get scores in the chat. If you want to win a shout out, this is Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which comes out on Friday, the 29th, on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, Switch, and PC. And I can tell you that, as Fury said, people are eating well on these types of games because this got a 9 out of 10 on average, which means Rowan's got one right. So can we get a shout out for his amazing company that makes these amazing manuals? And please do click the link and go check them out. I need to buy a few of these now because there's a couple of games I've got, including Mario Kart World. And now I know you're working on the Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm like, nice. So there you go. There is the link. Go click on it. Well done. Well done. And let's see who else got this right. Let's scroll up. Drawn Unicycle. Well done. Got it right. iQuail. Well done. iQuail, I will do your shout out for you. So, because 1 second, I will do that for you. There you go. Because you're modding everyone else. Who else got this right? I'm sure there's a few other people got this right. iQuail got it right. Anybody else? I think that was it, actually. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Legendary Joe says, manuals, are they still a thing? Yes, we're trying to. Rowan is trying to preserve.
Got to keep them alive.
Got to keep them alive. I'm going to do this very quickly before we go into our news story because for people who didn't see, because obviously Rowan was running the Mario Kart World competition, but you can buy his stuff. I believe was Light Gun Gaming selling some of your stuff this year. At times.
We did last year.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't manage a store and do all the other bits that I needed to do.
So I don't know if he was doing it this year. I would have thought he might.
No, not this year. I kind of just wanted to focus more on all the stuff that you needed me to do.
There you go. I shot myself in the foot there, but you can go buy. You can buy them online, or you can see them at shows around the UK. But for Nintendo, you can get the new Mario Kart World on Switch 2, get a manual and the Explorepedia. But also check all these out. If you've ever wanted gaming manuals, Stardew Valley Triangle Strategy Manual. Octopath Traveler 2, Octopath Traveler, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Mario Kart 8, Paper Mario, Pokemon Scarlet, Princess Peach, Xenoblade Chronicles, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, Paper Mario, Metroid Prime, Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem, Kirby Forgotten Land, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Snap, also Metroid Dread, Zelda, Skyward Sword, Super Mario 3D World, Last Resort Hotel, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and Zelda Link's Awakening. All those and many more, plus all the amazing Zelda ones are very limited edition.
There's some booklets and that sort of thing as well, like in this section, but there's quite a few got like Animal Crossing and that.
Yeah, there you go. Pokemon series, Metroid, there's other ones as well. Loads. Go check out the website. Link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Go check it out. Can we have the link again, please? If you'd be so kind. There you go. Seeing them in person, there is so much time and attention in these. He does an amazing job of these. They are deserving.
Love to see them in person.
Here you go. Buy these manuals. So beautifully done. There you go. There you go. Go check them out because they are amazing. And there's a couple I need to get. I will order from you, mate. Because funny thing is, at times I didn't get to look around any of the stores, and there's probably stuff I wanted to buy. But now I know you didn't have them this year. I will order some because I've got at least 3 games that I want to have those manuals in my collection.
I'll happily help you out, don't you worry.
Sweet. That'd be awesome. Our final news story of the night, because we are coming to a close of the show. And it's a biggie because, yes, another game technically wasn't shadow dropped, but the release date was shadow dropped. And it's the thing that people have been going batshit crazy for at least the last 2 years, because whatever showcase you were watching, even if you know they were not going to talk about Silksong, everyone in chat was going, show Silksong, show Silksong, show Silksong. Well, it happened. They literally dropped it the date during Gamescom, and the follow-up to the amazing 2017 Hollow Knight sequel, Silksong, is landing literally, I believe, next week. If my dates serve me correct.
Yep. Right. Next Thursday.
Next Thursday it comes out. And it has done something quite good. It has helped sales of Hollow Knight increase. Because Hollow Knight has now sold over 50 million copies worldwide.
Wow.
Right? So the 2017 game has had a bit of a boost and a resurgence. And over the weekend has hit its highest peak of players on Steam with 238,000 people. Playing the game. Now, people go, hey, that doesn't sound that many, but it is the highest amount for this game at any period. So since 2017, it has finally hit big numbers. And if you want to put it into perspective, right, it is actually more than people playing Overwatch 2 and Street Fighter 6 currently on Steam. So he's actually doing better than you think, even though it doesn't sound a big number when you've got stuff like Counter-Strike that's got like millions of people playing it on Steam. But it is doing really well. So this resurgence and them finally announcing this has done wonders for the original game. So question is, after all this hype, and there's been a lot of hype, do we think this is going to live up to it? Because there's a good chance that we will talk about this either on next week's show or the week after. But do we think it will live up to the hype? And will it sell as many as 50 million copies worldwide?
Oh, it's always difficult for anything to live up to the hype. Yeah, it can still be really, really good, but some people would have just hyped it, to a stupid level in their minds, and it might not quite reach those particular levels. But from what I've heard and what people have seen in previews of it, it is looking very, very good. Looks like a good improvement of the original game. So I think it's going to turn out to be a really good game. But I'll bet there'll be a few people who find it doesn't quite live up to their level of hype. But well. We'll see what they say. We'll see what comes up in the Steam reviews for it next week.
Yeah. I said 50 million, iQuail. 50 million copies sold. Not 15 or 59, but you were close.
I kind of agree with Dave. Some people are going to overhype things, and it's not going to do well. But I think for the majority, like Hollow Knight is a team that they know what they're doing. I feel like they're going to do very well, a good job with this. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to sell 50 million copies like instantly, but I definitely feel like, obviously it's not, but I'm thinking it's definitely going to be nearer that figure, if not surpass the original Hollow Knight if it does well.
Might get to that figure a lot quicker than. Yeah, because it's 2017, so you're looking at 8 years it's taken to get to 50 million. Maybe it might do that in half the time. You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see it surpassing it. It'll be very much like sort of. I think actually, to be honest, it could be a complete lie, but the Tears of the Kingdom thing, people bought the original because Tears of the Kingdom looks, it's going to be a lot of that sort of thing. Yeah. This new one looks so good. Maybe that's why it's a return, because they want to play that game to be able to properly play the second game. So I feel like that's definitely going to come through a lot more.
There you go. Prediction time: 5 million in 72 hours. Danka reckons they're going to sell 5 million copies in 72 hours. We will see if you're right. Dave's prediction: it will sell at least 3 copies.
I think that's a solid pick.
I
do see that happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring this comment up again because I thought it was hilarious. There are more people standing in your average bus stop these days than playing Overwatch 2. Yes, because it's shit. There you go. I think they will sell more than 4 copies. Oh, tough talk, Mike.
They might even get past 5.
Yeah, okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Are we going crazy with 10? I don't know.
Oh, blimey. Oh, God. Now we're going real out of depth here. There we go. We'll have to see. But we will talk about that game when it releases, and it will either feature on next week's show or the week after. It could actually be a Switch 2 unit seller as well. I agree. That could be a big thing. I think it will shift on that. I also know
like a Switch 2 sort of like Joy-Con thing to look like Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
that would look beautiful.
That'd be sweet. I know it's coming to Game Pass. Dave told me as well.
Yep, it is.
It's on Game Pass day 1, so another reason to play it. I think they are lucky. They might hit 100. There you go. There are many people standing at your local bus stop because the buses never fucking show up. True. There you go. And on that bombshell, on that bombshell, that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. We have done the show. Thank you so much to all of you in chat for being here and enjoying and guessing. For those who got the guesses correct, well done. We have got a jam-packed show next week because we will be talking about the new Gears of War remaster. We've got Helldivers 2 landing on Xbox as of today. We're talking about that. We have got the Kirby and the Forgotten Land kind of remaster for Switch 2.
Dare I ask what that signifies?
Thank you very much for the 100 bits, Dan. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we have got the PS5 game that was delayed slightly this year, Lost Soul Aside. That, amongst many other games that we'll be talking on the show. I would like to thank our wonderful guest, whose link is right now in the chat, so go check out his website. Thank you to the wonderful Rowan Fox Noble. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, we will have a little chat after stream and try and find out what shows we can get there. And buy his manuals. Yes, buy his manuals. The link is there in chat. Go check it out. I'm going to be buying a bunch. There you go. Do it. Rowan is sex. Give me your panties. If you want. Also, big shout out to Dave, our co-host, no most. Great to have you back off holiday, buddy. Great to have you back.
Always good to be here, mate.
There you go. Emmanuel's amazing. And thank you to all the wonderful mods. And yes, Dave Johnson and his panties. Thank you so much for you lot being here and keeping an eye on score. As I say, we'll be back next week. Our guest next week is a special guest, Andy, who is basically organising alongside Simran of Format fame. Andy's back because they are launching the first ever TEDx Manchester, which is is literally in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. And Andy will be here. He works with a lot of big companies helping their teams work better, but he has helped coordinate this TEDx event, which has got loads of amazing guest speakers on it. So we'll be telling you more about that because I know there are a few tickets left for that event and how you might be able to watch it live as well from the comfort of your own home. So that will be our guest on next week's show. Don't forget, tomorrow, as ordered by our community member of the month, Ems, we are going to be playing some community Mario Kart World. And Thursday, we will be trying out the game that came out today. We are going to be trying out the Gears of War remaster or Gears of War Reloaded. Let's go do a raid and send all these wonderful people. Thank you so much for all the bits. Thank you for the raids from Mooney and Slopes. Greatly appreciated. We shall see you again very, very soon. But let's see who's on, and we'll pass the love on. Blimey, there is a lot of people on tonight. And weirdly, my Stream Deck has not put them in order, which is an absolute pisser. I hate when it does this. I'm just going to try and see who is. Yeah, it's one of them because now it's not in order. It's really. Has that gone back in order? It has.
Oh,
good.
just
Right.
answer your question, Ems, as well.
Yes.
Any suggestions, special editions, normal manuals, just give me a buzz.
Luigi's
I'll do my
Mansion
best.
2 HD remake. I would like that one because I bought that last year. And I'm keeping that.
It's a good game. I'll do it. I'll work on it.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Thank you. All right. Awesome. Let's see who else we can raid. Oh my God. Okay. Oh God.
It's a good one.
Do you know what? Shall we raid one of our wonderful cosplay judges? I don't think I've raided her in the last month or so. That is the wonderful Referia, who was also sharing that same stage that Rowan was on because she was doing some of the other competitions with the wonderful Jinx. She was doing the Super Mario Brothers 3, Smash Brothers, and obviously Astrobot competition. She's playing some Marvel Rivals. So I think we should drop a raid. I'll buy that game if you do the manual, says Dan. Ems also says Zelda and Pokemon. Any more Zelda and Pokemon? Just do that.
Absolutely. Pokemon Legends ZA. That is going to be one that I'm going to do for, definitely.
That'd be. But you did the most recent Zelda, didn't you? You did the Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, you've done that one. Yeah, you've done that one. I've got that. Oh, yeah, I need to buy that one off you as well. There you go. Anyway, let's go raid Referia. That raid will start when the end credits have rolled. Thank you so much. If for any reason that raid doesn't go over, I will put the link in the chat. And that is it from us. And all that leaves for me to say is wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, a great afternoon, or a great evening. and we'll just see you back at 8:30 tomorrow for some Mario Kart World Community Night. From all of us here, we will do that cheesy thing. We will wave. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.